Have you ever wondered why we gather around a table? It's not just about eating, it's an echo of ancient traditions. Join a journey through time to uncover how our ancestors' feasts nourished more than their bodies, how they shaped identities, and built the sense of community we still cherish today. Get ready to see your next family meal in a completely new light. Our story begins at the campfire. Around the flames, our ancestors transformed from solitary hunters into shared eaters. The act of taking a bite became a deliberate social ritual for the first time. Fire served as the first dining table. Crackle, smoke, and sharing, the passing of meat from hand to hand, turned solitary eating into a synchronized act. This simple rhythm created harmony and trust within small groups. Findings at Boxgrove, England may indicate the communal consumption of a wild horse around 500,000 years ago, though it's not certain. Still, cut marks and accumulation suggest an early form of feasting behavior. Some studies propose that controlled fire and possible cooking began about 780,000 years ago, a controversial claim. Yet gathering around the fire accelerated learning through storytelling and shared experiences. Cooking offered not only calories, but a practice of togetherness. As sociologist Georg Simmel noted, you can't put the same bite into two mouths. Eating is inherently individual. Humanity overcame that through commensality, eating together. A shared pot, a shared rhythm, a shared story. At the table, the individual becomes a social being. By the end of the Paleolithic era, traces of organized feasting appear. Turtle and wild cattle remains found near a burial in the Levant suggest ceremonial gatherings even before agriculture. Food had become a social glue that softened tensions. That first bite around the circle of fire turned us from lone hunters into community builders. Next, we'll explore why this ritual gave us an edge in survival, trust, and cooperation. In Part 2, Survive at the Table, the evolutionary benefits of eating together. We've stepped out of the circle of fire. Now the question is this: why did eating together make survival easier? The short answer: it nurtured sharing, trust, and cooperation, boosting a group's chances of survival. Sharing scarce game on the savannah acted as a primitive form of social insurance. I hunt today, you share tomorrow. Reciprocity spread the risk of hunger. Those who bonded gained a selection advantage. Modern experiments back this up. When strangers eat from a shared bowl, they coordinate better in negotiations and reach agreements faster than when eating from separate plates. The family-style setup can even shorten the process by several rounds. The difference isn't just etiquette, it's physical synchrony. Passing the bowl, matching pace, respecting each other's space. As bodies align, minds more easily shift toward cooperation. From a biological standpoint, food sharing is linked to processes that strengthen bonding among mammals. In primate studies, post-meal sharing correlates with higher oxytocin levels, reinforcing feelings of trust and closeness. That same mechanism fuels defense and performance. Teams that eat together move more cohesively in action. Even today, say among firefighters, shared meals can enhance team performance. And beyond survival, it simply feels good. Laughter rises, stress drops, loneliness fades. Whether face-to-face or online, shared meals elevate well-being. The group that eats together lives together and thrives together. So how did these communal meals distribute power and prestige? Coming next, Part 3, the politics of the feast, power, hierarchy, and the kitchen of alliances. Does the one with the fullest plate have the strongest voice? Throughout history, the feast was never just about feeding. It was a stage for displaying power and for creating debt and allegiance. Who's alpha? Who owes whom? It all became visible at the table. Even among our primate cousins, rank takes precedence in shared hunts. Meat flows first to the alpha in their circle, making hierarchy visible in the act of eating itself. Among early human groups, distributing big game or rare foods became a moment where status and prestige were negotiated. The feast is also a social technology. It forges alliances. In the highlands of Papua New Guinea, clans would raise pigs for years to hold massive ceremonies in a single day. Dozens of animals were slaughtered, distant guests fed. The host gained prestige and ties were renewed. In the Pacific Northwest, potlatch ceremonies saw chiefs gain honor by giving away or even destroying wealth. Colonial authorities banned them in Canada from 1885 to 1951, but the ritual survived underground. In Europe, the politics of the table became law through sumptuary acts. In England, the 1363 statute concerning diet and apparel under Edward III aimed to curb class imitation and excess in dining, though such rules proved hard to enforce over time. Then came feasting diplomacy. Enemies sat at the same table, shared bread and salt, and afterward harming each other became taboo. One bite turned into a pledge of peace, as binding as law itself. Feasts displayed power, forged alliances, and shaped societies. But how did these grand banquets evolve from pre-agricultural gatherings into harvest festivals? Up next, Part 4, Seed and Ceremony, from pre-agricultural gatherings to harvest feasts. We've seen power and alliance at the table. Now let's go further back. Did feasting exist before agriculture, and could it have even accelerated it? Many findings say yes, at least partly. Feasts acted like magnets, drawing nomadic groups together at regular intervals. In the Levant, during the Natufian period, approximately 12,000 years ago, traces of a large communal meal were found near a burial, numerous tortoise shells and wild cattle bones. This suggests that even before farming, people held organized gatherings for specific purposes. Eating functioned as a social glue that eased tensions. At Göbekli Tepe in southeastern Turkey, circa 10,000 BCE, monumental stone enclosures appeared before villages or farming. Debris shows an unusual abundance of wild animal remains, pointing to large-scale gatherings. There's even a debated possibility of early beer brewing in huge stone basins. Not confirmed, but the scene is clear. These were ritual feasts, not everyday meals. Why does this matter? Some researchers argue these competitive feasts sparked the desire to host bigger tables. To gain prestige, hosts needed surplus, driving the push toward grain cultivation and animal domestication. With agriculture, the stage expanded. Seasonal festivals, especially harvest feasts, emerged. From Mesopotamia to the Mediterranean, from the Nile to East Asia, people celebrated abundance and fertility at fixed times of year. Occasional feasts turned into calendar-bound rituals. Harvest feasts became a way to manage the stress of dense, settled life. After months of labor, people ate together, with music, dance, parades, and fire. The shared harvest embodied collective success and expressed gratitude. Feasting first gathered us, then institutionalized agriculture. Through seasons, calendars, and ceremonies, the table gained a sacred meaning. Which leads us to the next question. How does a single bite become us? Coming next, Part 5, Sacred Bite, Bread, Fasting, and Communion in Faith. How does a single bite become us? The answer? By sharing it. Throughout history, sacred meals have created ritual stages where believers enact a shared story. The bite becomes a means of writing identity together. The best-known example is the Eucharist, a small piece of bread and wine representing, or in some traditions believed to be, the body and blood of Christ. One loaf, one cup, an image of being one body in many. At the Passover Seder, matzah and symbolic foods embody the same story of deliverance. During Ramadan, communal abstinence throughout the day culminates in the simultaneous breaking of the fast at iftar, binding people in shared devotion. The sacred table also teaches equality. The challah shared on Shabbat renews identity weekly. In the Sikh langar, everyone sits side by side, eating the same simple meal from the same kitchen. Privilege suspended. During Diwali, sweets are shared with neighbors, making generosity a visible thread of community. Even language preserves this bond. Companion comes from the Latin com plus panis, one with whom you share bread. Anthropologically, sacred meals create belonging through shared rhythm, eating and speaking together, shared symbols, and repetition. They nail memory and place through ritual. Food also anchors life cycle rituals. Wedding feasts merge two families into one community. In some traditions, the couple feeding each other sweets symbolizes unity. Funeral meals, such as the Jewish Seudat Havra'ah, place comfort at the heart of mourning, embodying how the community embraces the bereaved. The mechanism is clear. Fasting and breaking the fast together calibrate empathy. Sharing bread teaches equality. Repeating the same words, prayers, blessings, stories builds a collective we. The shared bite weaves the physical into the spiritual. Sacred meals transform food into belonging, gratitude, and consolation, turning me into us. But in the age of screens, how are these bonds changing? Next comes Table 2.0. From family meals to viral feasts. New ways of breaking bread in the digital world. Do the plates we share through screens still create community? The answer: yes. The form has changed, but the need remains. Table 2.0 is the digital extension of humanity's ancient urge to eat together. First, the home front, the family meal. Decades of research link regular shared dinners to academic and emotional benefits for children, and to healthier habits and lower stress for adults. The magic isn't in the food, it's in the rhythm of togetherness. Social media has turned eating into a shared experience on a massive scale. Food photos, recipe trends, the message beneath it all is the same: wish you were here. As one writer put it, it's a tweetable feast, a long-distance invitation. The pandemic made this even clearer. Video call dinners, home cook-alongs, and online toasts. A clink through the screen isn't the same, but it still carried the feeling of creating a shared moment. Separate kitchens, one rhythm. And then there's the rise of mukbang. Watching someone cook and eat can give a sense of companionship, especially for those living alone. It can't replace face-to-face dining, but it's more meaningful than eating in complete isolation. Meanwhile, offline, shared meals are making a comeback. Potlucks, communal food halls, team lunches. Shared tables boost closeness and cooperation, just like in firehouse kitchens, where team harmony often begins at the table. The table has globalized and virtualized, yet its essence endures to create belonging. From the circle of fire to the glow of the screen, one bite still turns me into us. So at your next meal, whether beside you or through a screen, pass the plate. Community begins right there.